This is my first time being at Family Cafe. What an amazing event. This is so incredible. I just want to start off talking a little bit about our mission statement, because our mission statement is more than words, right? And words mean something. And I think this is really important. It is the agency supports individuals with disabilities and their families in living, learning, and working in their communities. Now, when I listen to those words, we have to support individuals and we have to support families. How do we support individuals and families? One is we have to be transparent. You have to know what we're doing, and we have to tell you what we're doing and everything about the process. And we've been trying to do that. If you've looked at our website, we want to be more transparent. Second is to provide you with the information to empower you, because empowered individuals and empowered families make better decisions. The other thing is, how do we support you? By giving you systems and processes that you can navigate. And this, to us, is a challenge, because we're a state agency, right? We are a bureaucracy. On one hand, we have to protect the taxpayers' money, and so we have to have processes. But on the other hand, if families can't navigate those processes, then we need to fix them. And so creating systems that you can navigate is another thing that empowers families, empowers individuals, how we can support. The other thing is customer service. We have to provide good customer service. And lastly, to have our clients live, learn, and work in communities, we have to be a good partner. We can't do that on our own. We need to be good provider partners, waiver support coordinator partners. So we have to be a good partner as an agency. You know, when I first got the opportunity to take this role on, I got to meet Janetta Bryant. And Janetta is a true advocate. And she gave me a great analogy, and I use this analogy every single day. She said that family members are nearsighted, that they can only see to get them through the day or through the week because their life is so challenging, taking care of a loved one. And so they can't see farsighted. They can't see what they have to do for their loved one 5 years, 10 years out, nor do they have peripheral vision to see what services are out there that isn't right in front of them. Does that sound like you? Is that a good analogy? So if that's the challenge that families face, we as an agency have to help you see what you have to do for 5 years, 10 years out. And we have to help you see what other services are around you. So those are some of the things that drive us at APD. And so I read our mission statement. I'd be curious from you, how many of you get services or know of someone who gets services from APD? How many hands? Wow, quite a bit. Awesome, quite a bit. So my next question is, how do we do, right? So how many of you think that we do a good job providing services to you? Raise your hand if you think we do a good job. Okay, all right, we even got some laughter and so on. All right, that's good. How many think we do a bad job? We do a poor job. We have some people who we think we do a poor job. How many of you think that we need to improve and we're trying to improve? I'm with you. I'm with you because, you know what, we could never stop trying to improve. And you have a tough job, and so do we. but we always have to strive to improve. And that's one of the things that I and my team will always tell you. We're not perfect, right? We have bureaucratic processes, but you know what? We strive every day to make them better for you. So let me just kind of move on a little bit. So this right here is the programs under APD, how we provide services. There's the iBudget waiver and the CDC Plus program. There's the Individuals and Family Support Program, the Managed Care Pilot Program, Hope Florida, and the Florida Unique Abilities Partner Program. And we're going to go through each of those programs. Just a little bit, this is an interesting slide as to who do we provide services to. And if you look, people with intellectual disabilities, cerebral palsy, spina bifida, Down syndrome, and then some autism. And where do we provide services? Most of the services we provide are in family homes, community-based residential facilities, own home, and others. And this is a guiding principle for us. The guiding principle for us is to keep our clients in the least restrictive setting as possible, preferably the home, if not another community-based setting. But we strive to keep people secure in their homes or a safe community setting. Applying for services. How many of you have looked at our website recently? Right? Okay, quite a bit of you. We have been really trying to not only modernize it, but also to put it in language that parents and families could understand. Because if you can't understand it, there's really no purpose for it. And so the other thing that we've been doing is we are trying to catch up to 2026 and putting things online. So our application is online for the iBudget waiver. For the crisis waiver, for crisis status, the application is online. And so this right here is where you could go to find an application if you need to file an application, or we still do paper, and you can go to an APD office for that. We have 37,000 people enrolled in the iBudget waiver, and we take care of about 60,000 people in total. And the thing about the iBudget waiver is it is a Medicaid home and community-based waiver. So it is attached to the Medicaid program. And that means one is non-institutionalization. We want to keep people in the community. But the second thing is that it's a high bar for eligibility. And there's many criteria that you have to meet to be eligible for APD services. But I think the overriding bar is that you would have to be institutionalized if it's not for the services provided. And so that's a fairly high bar, but it is where the legislature has set it, and that is one of the guiding principles for that. And you can see that that's all online. What we try to do is with our application is to give you the criteria and the steps as you're walking through that application. Once someone does become eligible, we offer 27 services in different categories: life skills development, supplies and equipment, personal supports, residential services, support coordination, therapeutic supports, wellness, transportation, and dental through managed care. So it is a pretty comprehensive portfolio of services that we provide our clients. The Consumer-Directed Care Plus program is a popular program, and what that allows someone to do is they can enroll, when they're enrolled in the I-budget, if they live in their own home or a family home, they can actually become a small business and hire providers and caregivers and basically oversee their own care as a small business. And we have 5,186 individuals enrolled in that, and it's a very popular program. Now, the home and community-based program has a pre-enrollment list. And like most home and community-based programs that you see in the state of Florida, we have to wait for slots by the legislature to fund slots. And so people become eligible, but if the legislature doesn't give us a slot, we can't move them into a slot. At the beginning of the fiscal year, so in July, we had nearly 22,000 people on the wait list, and we've been able to reduce that. But when you come on the wait list or the pre-enrollment list, there are various categories, and category 1 is someone who's in crisis. Category 2 is they're in the child welfare system at the time of permanency and they're turning 18. 3 is intensive needs. 4 is a caregiver over 60 years of age. 5 is if they're transitioning right out of school. 6 is kind of a catch-all for everyone who doesn't meet one of these categories over 21. And then category 7 is if you're under 21. And so what happens is you become eligible if you're not in a crisis situation. You would go into one of these categories, and then as slots open up, we can move people off of pre-enrollment based on the amount of time they've been on the pre-enrollment list and what category they're in. So when this next chart right here goes from January of 2025 to now. And this really is the pre-enrollment list. And earlier last year, what we had was there were about 22,000 people on the pre-enrollment list. That pre-enrollment list is now down to 15,500. And one of the things that we did as an agency is we looked at how much money we thought we would have as surplus, and we calculated how many people we could fund, and we went ahead and sent out 5,500 offer letters using that pre-enrollment list, those categories and people on it, and we invited them for services. And so we've seen this drop because of that, because of the managed care pilot program has taken off 1,300, I believe, 1,300 in the managed care pilot program. And then also, we have found people who, they feel like they're in a stable situation, they don't need services, or people have fallen off the pre-enrollment list, we can't find them, they may have moved, and so on. So one of the things that I will tell you as an agency that we are committed to do is we are committed to take people off pre-enrollment to the extent that we get funded by the legislature. If the legislature provides us dollars to take people off pre-enrollment, we are going to do that and give them slots. We did that in the past. This year is going to be a tougher funding year because it was a leaner budget. You all watched the proceedings in Tallahassee. It's a leaner budget. We know we'll be able to take care of crisis people. And we're going to watch our numbers, and if we could remove more people off pre-enrollment and put them in services, we're going to do that. But we are committed to moving as many people in services as financially we can do that. I mentioned the Individual and Family Support Program. This is the IFS program. And the IFS program, the legislature provides us money to provide temporary services. So if you have someone on pre-enrollment who may need a temporary service, maybe they would need some respite care, some adult day training, they may need a ramp built. The IFS program is there for us to do that. And basically, it's really to help people maintain a stable situation if you have to intervene. And there's something that we could do to basically relieve a situation so that they could come back to a stable situation. And that's the IFS program. And that's, we're extremely appreciative that the legislature gives us that flexibility to use that program. Let me talk a little bit about the managed care program. And this is the Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Comprehensive Managed Care Program. This was created by the legislature several years ago. And just a little bit about my background. So I spent my time on the senior long-term care side, nursing homes, assisted living, adult day health care, and things like that. I spent a long time fighting managed care not to come into Medicaid, and then I spent a long time, after the legislature put it on the senior side, working with managed care. And so I've got to see both sides of it. I would tell you that managed care is risky for our population, and that's why you don't see it in a lot of states. But the way Florida set it up, Florida did it right. And what Florida did was, one, it started it small, and then it expanded it to people can go into the managed care if they're on the pre-enrollment list. Now, July 1, it will allow anyone to move into the managed care program who's on the iBudget waiver. And I know that there's trepidation about managed care, but I will say this about the program. One is they've allowed it to grow slowly, which is good. The second thing is it's a voluntary program. So you can move from pre-enrollment into managed care, and managed care is going to work for some people, and for some people it may not. But after a year, if the managed care doesn't work for you, you can go back to APD and you would automatically get an iBudget slot. The other thing too is that managed care, the managed care program will be open to anyone with the APD, iBudget slot, July 1. And again, you can move over to it, and it may work for you, it may not, but if it doesn't, you could move back. So what I would say is that for parents, for families who are struggling, the way the legislature set it up, because it's a voluntary program, it's another ability to get services. And so I would say, look at the managed care pilot program. It may work for you, it may not, but it's worth looking at. And we truly work as partners with them, because our main thing is we want people to get services. And if people get services over here and not here, we're happy just that people are getting services. Hope Florida is another program that for us is a critical program for us. The Hope Florida program basically connects, we have navigators in all of our offices, and they connect our clients with community and church resources outside of the government, or even there may be other government programs that are more appropriate for our clients. And so what we do is sometimes if it's a need that that's not met by APD, we refer our clients to Hope Navigator, who may find that in a community resource or a church or another government agency. The Hope Florida program changes the dynamic of how we work with you. because prior to Hope, Florida, if we aren't able to provide you a service, we just said no, right? This allows us that if you don't meet our criteria for some reason, we can at least see if we can help you through a community partner, through a church partner, or maybe another government agency program. So it really does allow us to continue to work with you in a positive way and hopefully help you rectify the situation in front of you. The other program is the Florida Unique Abilities Partner Program. This is an exciting program. What we do is we recruit businesses who want to hire our clients, and then clients who want to work for businesses, we help refer them out. Our clients, it's always incredible to me how much I learn when I sit down with our clients. They have so much knowledge. It's different knowledge, but they have so much to give, and there's so much benefit that they could provide our community. And this Florida Unique Partners Program allows them to go out and to work within the community and show the businesses our talents. And we're very excited about this program. I just signed a bunch of letters on it of new businesses coming in, and we're so excited about that program. So let me talk about some ways to stay engaged. First, our website, and we've got a monthly newsletter. You could sign up for our monthly newsletter called Roundup. But our website, we keep striving to make it useful to you. And I want you to follow it. We try to keep it current, keep current events. And the other thing too is, if you think there's a way for us to do it better, tell us, because we certainly want to keep improving it. Our social media, we have a whole team out there. For those of you who are on X and Facebook and all that, there's a lot that goes out, and so you could follow us there. The other thing is the family care councils. Family care councils were set up, and they've really fallen into disrepair. And they've fallen into disrepair for a number of reasons, but one is just legally, we have some legal hurdles that we have to get through. But the one thing that we really want to do is strengthen our family care councils and get them back to being effective force multipliers. So I'm Navy. I retired Navy. And to me, you always want force multipliers, right? You want people out in the community advocating for us. You want people out there who are assisting other family members. And that's what the family care councils can be for us. And so getting the family care councils back is important. Because one of the things, you know it, right? Tell me if I'm wrong here. I mean, you can have someone in our office work with you, or you could have another mom work with you, or another dad who's lived it, right? Where do you think the better experience comes from? And so if we strengthen our family care councils, we allow them to go out and assist people who are trying to fill out applications for our services, who are coming on board, who are trying to pick a waiver support coordinator and things like that, we'll be much stronger. So our family care councils is one of the initiatives. Trying to get them back in line, back in shape, helping us is one of the initiatives. When we started, I talked about some of our priorities, but customer service, improving customer service has to be our number one driver, right? We want to be able to provide you answers, and we should be. And so some of the things that we've been doing is we've been trying to empower more our frontline people. Because the thing is, if our frontline people are more empowered, they're better customer representatives of us, right? There can be nothing more frustrating than having to deal with family members and clients every day and having no authority to make decisions to help them. So pushing decisions down to the people who are dealing with the families, who are dealing with our clients directly is important. And the other thing too is just customer service. How many of you have emailed me or called me? Okay, a few of you. My email's on the website, my picture's on the website, my email's on the website, and my direct number's on the website. If you email me or call me, I will call you back, or I will email you back, or I will have one of my staff members who know way much more than me email you back. But that's where customer service starts, right? If customer service doesn't start at the top, it's not going to trickle down to the bottom. And so we want to provide great customer service. And that's when those of you who raised your hand that we need to improve, that's where we need to improve. We always need to improve there. Increasing transparency. Again, we try to load up our website. We try to get you information that's understandable. And the other thing too is implementing operational efficiencies. And that is that making our processes navigable so that family members can understand the processes and the documentation and everything we need. So those are our major priorities. The next thing is just a couple action steps. If Florida Health Finder, anyone know what Florida Health Finder is? Okay, a few of you. So if you go to the Agency for Healthcare Administration, there's Florida Health Finder, which lists all the healthcare entities in the state of Florida. So hospitals, nursing homes, adult day health care, assisted living. And then it also tells a little bit about each one, and it has a star rating. Well, APD facilities were never in Florida Health Finder. We now put them in Florida Health Finder. So you could put in a zip code or a city, and group home, foster homes, and adult day trainings will pop up around you. Again, helping you. Our next step is we're putting quality information on that so that you can also get quality information. And what we'd like to do is actually, at some point, go to a star system where you could go 1 to 5 stars on those buildings. But again, empowering you all makes you better advocates, and it helps us. The website redesign and improving family resources I talked about. Maximum funding of services, I talked about that too. That is that returning money to the legislature is not our goal. Our goal is that if we have funds, we're going to spend it on services for our clients and reviewing and simplifying processes. Next is just some of the other projects that we're working on. So we take care of people with developmental disabilities who are incarcerated in the system. We have an old facility. We want to build a new one out in Mariana so that those people can have a humane place that they need to get services at. And so we're working on that. The budget allocation process. So when someone comes in, there's an initial budget allocated. It's an out-of-date process. We had a report done as to how we can fix it, and our goal is to update that process. And then the last thing is the client data management system, iConnect. For those of you who work professionally in the system, iConnect is an old, clunky system, and it needs to be replaced. And the legislature actually, the governor signs the budget and keeps everything in, lays us a roadmap to go to a more modern client database system, which anyone who works in the process getting services knows that we need to get a more modern system. So that is my presentation, and we've got more time, and so I'm happy to answer questions, but here's what I would ask you. If you have a question about policy or a general question, then ask me while I'm up here. But if your question is about a specific situation, right, I and my team are going to be here. Let's do that privately afterwards. And we will stay as long as we need to talk with you. Okay, so with that, if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to take. Yeah, let's start there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to repeat the question. Unless you guys, if you guys have a standalone mic, you could share with us for people with questions. Oh, we got one. Look at that. Okay. Well, okay. So let me repeat the question. So the question is, somebody moves here from another state and they leave the school system and they shred all the IEPs and all the documentation. The question is there another way to get around it? I need help. Because I could fake an answer, but I don't think I'm really going to help you. So, by the way, this is Lorena Fulcher. She's our deputy at APD, and Lorena she's actually what keeps everything operating day to day.
Thanks so much. That's a great question. We hear that from a lot of families. We do have individuals that come and they don't have paperwork of their developmental disability. So our agency is able to provide for a comprehensive assessment when someone is over the age of 18 and it's needed to definitively determine eligibility. And so what that looks like, it might be an evaluation for the diagnosis, like a psychological evaluation. And then the psychologist will, part of that process is they're going to collect a social history, a developmental history. And so families, people that know the individual can provide information about the individual's past while they're doing the assessment. The evaluator will also rule out conditions like TBI and things like that. So there is a process for individuals over 18 who need that kind of support.
Awesome. Thank you. Who else has a question? A question right here. Here we get the we'll get you next. All right, go ahead, Jack.
Hi, Bob. I'm Malcolm.
Hey, Malcolm.
I'm from St. Lucie, and my question is, I received a letter saying that transportation advantage is coming to an end at the end of the month. And it's going to affect a lot of us with disabilities that are able to like work and things of that nature. I would love for you guys to fight, to fight for us because that's going to affect a lot of very important individuals with disabilities that are able to work and that are able to go to social life and things of that nature. That's my challenge.
Well, Martin, Malcolm, right? Malcolm. Thank you for that question, because that's a good question. So the question is that there's transportation services that are going to be ending July 1 in Martin County.
It's the whole
Yeah.
Treasure Coast. I'm sorry. I'm Melody Hearn, Family Care Council, Area 15, which is St. Lucie, Martin, Okeechobee, and Indian River. And I believe you were appointed to the Board of Commission for Transportation Disadvantage. And I beg for 40,000 individuals for the year use this transportation for training. That means adult day training. That means going to employment or employment training. That's all going to end. They're going to be sitting on the couch in health and safety risks. So our transportation disadvantage of Martin and Indian River reapplied because that grant was no longer going to be able to be received. He's reapplied under another project name.
Yep.
Promising, please promise us we'll get it back. Because I realize we were a test pilot out of the Developmental Disabilities Council.
Yeah.
And it's something that the whole state needs, I know, but we were the ones who went for it. So thank you.
Well, and thank you for bringing that up, because you're right. I sit on the commission, and 3 weeks ago I went down to Martin County, and I met with your transportation folks. Actually took the tour. I saw the bus stop and how it all worked, and you have an incredible program. And the thing about the grant is it's an innovative grant, so it is time limited. Martin County actually got it for longer than it was exceeded, but I've been working with the county to look at an alternative grant program, and I'm very aware of it. Look, I'm very supportive of it because I actually rode the bus and saw everything that happens, and if we could find an alternative way, then I am all for it because I understand the importance of the program.
So let me explain. It's Treasure Coast. Transportation disadvantaged is only within county lines.
Right.
But you set the Treasure Coast. You set St. Lucie, who put in tons of money through the county, and then the Indian River and Martin transportation disadvantage came together and
Right.
provided cross-county.
Right.
And St. Lucie County has maybe 2 ADTs still working. Where our people are usually going to Vero North
Right.
or to Martin and Jensen.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. And I will continue to work with Martin County on that. Yeah. In front. Well, this lady right here, and then we'll have you.
Well, my friend, she trying to get on the way for, trying to get like a dentist plan, and the doctor, they turned her down, and she just moved down and she got upset, and they don't know what to do.
So she needs dental services? Okay. So what we're going to do is one of my staff's going to get with you afterwards, and we'll get her name, and let's see what we can do to help. Happy to do that.
Hi, I'm Joanne Canellis, 324 Claremont Avenue, Lake Mary, Florida, 32746. Well, we had our bus taken away from Seminole County, and we got it replaced with this Scout, the Micro Transit. But we still need the train, 24 hours train service, including holidays, weekends, and nighttime. And we need the train also into the airport in Orlando, MCO, and two over here as well, please. You know, like we call it Sunshine Corridor, including over here at the convention center, which is here. Yeah, we need it badly. I don't know why. Every time I say to myself, we might get it next year, and we didn't get it. Today, we didn't get it still. I'm disappointed. At the ride the bus, from Lake Central Station to here. It's like walking. I hate that. I wanted to get that train over here next year, please. From airport to here, please, including at Disney Springs.
I will take that back to the transportation suspension.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Violet,
Hi.
be kind to me.
First of all,
Be kind.
huh? Be kind? I'm always kind. First of all, you know how I feel about APD, and I think you are a breath of fresh air. What you've brought to the agency
Yay.
has been great. You've traveled this state.
Actually, it's my staff.
That's right.
They make it all happen.
And I'm going to talk about your staff. You're a breath of fresh air. You've given providers, you've given loved ones, you've given the individuals that we support a seat at the table. We have a voice. We feel like we are not alone. And that is so very important. And I know that you're spearheading the customer service. Well, at Sunrise Community, we have great customer service with your staff. Your staff steps up to the plate. Anytime I call them, I get a return call from you, from all of your staff. So I want to thank you for that, and we want to continue to work with you. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hi, we are a family of CDC Plus, and Diane, and we love CDC Plus. It gives us the flexibility to choose our programs appropriately for my brother's needs. Recently, we've heard rumblings that certain providers are not going to be included in CDC Plus unless they are an APD approved program, which again I think defeats the purpose of what CDC Plus means and when we're able to choose our own providers or choose our own things that we want to do. So I just wanted to see if that's something that a guideline that you're going to start implementing over CDC Plus, or if it's just something that came up like one-off.
I'm not familiar, but, okay, so, Laura, okay, again, see, these are the people who actually make things happen.
Thanks. That's a great question. CDC, the program rules aren't changing. You have the flexibility with providers. However, there is one change in the statute related to how one of our services works. So adult day training providers, the statute requires that they be licensed. So I've heard from some individuals on the CDC Plus program who attend adult day training programs that will need to be licensed to continue to operate. So I think that may be, is that the concern? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, there's not a plan like what you mentioned.
They're approved as a provider, so when we do the payments, they have a number and we pay them directly. So to me, it seems strange that they were approved to be able to be paid as a vendor if they weren't licensed to begin with. So I guess that would be my question, and before you knock them off, it might be something to talk to them about first. So anyway, there's a lot of people. It's a fantastic program and we love them.
How can we make it better?
Yeah, tell us what we need to do to make sure they're there. So maybe I'll talk to one of your staff members to make sure we get the information to them. Thank you.
Say something about CDC Plus. Hi,
Hello? Tell me your name.
my name is Branda.
Brandon.
Branda.
Brandon, okay.
I live at Promise in Bavard. And my mom got me in CD Plus when I want to say I was 20 22, 23, somewhere along there. And my mom is my no caregiver. My mom, when she comes and gets me to take me to do things, she gets paid. She gets paid for doing that with me. And my sister is my rep. And so I'm lucky to have CD Plus. And also I have, his name is Mark Bowman, and he is my support coordinator that helps me with my stuff, you know. And CD Plus is a really good powerhouse for people with disabilities. And thank you.
Brenda, thank you for sharing that with me. Is that your mom? No. Oh, is your mom here? Is your mom here? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, tell your mom a big thank you from me for doing such a great job. So thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Tatiana Fernandez, and I've been calling you a few times because I have a lot of parents calling me, advocate for them in Spanish. And the one been calling you to say, can we put this in Spanish for our people? Plus, we have a lot of people, parents, try to apply, but they don't have the ability to get case managers speaking Spanish. And the last thing I want to say, today I received a phone call from a mother. She have a 16-year-old son. She broken her arm, and then she needs some help. She have respite from APD, but no one can helping her. How we can help her?
Okay. So first, on Spanish, I mean, we do try, we do translate our major documents in Spanish, and so we do try to put it out. With respect to your friend, let's get you with my staff afterwards, and let's look into that particular situation and see what we could do.
Please do. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
and it's
you.
about your website. It's not the papers. It's the website and the case managers. We need more case managers speak both languages, Spanish and English.
Yeah, got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, got it. I'm good. Okay. Is that it? Any more? Oh, we got more. We got a couple more. Okay.
Hi, my name is Lisa, and I am the parent of a medically fragile young man who has a very rare genetic disorder. There are 150 humans in the world alive with it. He is 1 in a million births. He's literally 1 in a million. He is 36 years old, and we have been on the program for a few years. I have a very large support group of folks that have children with his disorder all around the country and the world. There's something, it's one of the biggest characteristics of his disorder is progeria. And I would like to request, and then I have a question, I would like to request that we work a little bit on our palliative care programs in our palliative care. Yeah, my son, he's prematurely aging, so he is like a little elderly person, his bodily functions, and our palliative care system here is not that great. And I hope that we can do better for folks as we're getting through those stages of life. And my question is, I'm hearing a lot of talk from my friends all over the country that this program, APD, here in Florida, that they're working on doing a national, across the board policies and procedures. Have you heard anything about that? Do you know anything about it? And what would you say that would benefit us, or should we stick to the individual states?
So the question is that other states want to replicate what we do here in,
That they're going to be making national policy, not individual state policy.
yeah, okay, thank you. I appreciate that question. No, I am not aware of any effort on the part of the federal government to federalize the services that we provide. In fact, when I leave here, I'm flying up to Washington and I'm meeting with the directors of the other 50 states because we get together and what we do is we share best practices and what's working and what's not working. And so, each state is its, for people who move to Florida to understand, each state is its own different population, its own needs, its own services. And I don't know of any effort going on in DC, any serious effort to federalize it and make it all standard.
How many more questions do you want to take? Because we have quite a few.
I'll tell you what, let's do 2 more questions and then, but we're going to stay. I mean, I'll stay here and we'll answer questions for anyone who has. Okay, so let's do 2 more.
That's fair, but remember, there's no other state that has a family cafe.
Hi. So, my name is Vanessa. Yes, and I'm from South Florida. Yes, Miami. I'm a parent. Can you hear me? Okay. So, I'm a parent, and my son has a CDC Plus, and I've been helping a lot of parents out in my community from the transition age from high school to adulthood. I understand we have now more ADTs available, as the word is we're having more programs, so on and so forth. A lot of these parents don't know what their options are. They're barely on the waiver list. And it seems like they have to hurry up and learn about the waiver program, which now they have access to, thanks to the new, what is it called, the ID budget? I budget. And what I'm asking is for, since we have, I'm thinking maybe these parents, who's going to teach them about what's going on? Because it looks like the school is overwhelmed with reaching out to the parents to do that. And they need to tap into agency persons with disability. And they have to, I tell them, refer to the website, look and see what the difference is between a private school, a provider, and a vendor. And that makes a huge difference. Going to a private school, the budget is a lot more from the waiver program as opposed to a center that's approved by the state. And to do their homework and to get that resource to them. In my community particularly, I know I'm thinking of 2 agencies, state agencies, the Children's Trust, where they have parent to parent, and they only help out to the age of 22. And so they're giving them basic information like IEP, IDEA law, stuff like that, maybe a couple webinars with a couple people attending. And the community is at need. They need to know what are their local resources that they can commute to and, make that decision, not just get into an private ADT program where they're open 10 months out of the year, when they can be at a program that's open 12 months out of the year.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. And when it's going to take a big chunk out of their budget as well.
Yeah.
So how can we mirror APD's expectations to, to the regular people who don't have social coordinators and stuff like that? How can our community serve to agency persons with disabilities, mirror what what needs to be done? How can we reach out to them? right now we have AI, for instance. I was in the big convention where they have all the stuff there. They have AI now. Why are we having AI services? This agent, parent to parent, is a third party. They're referring people. It takes a week for them to get back to them if they have a quote unquote crisis. There's money right there. We have two agencies, advocacy, disability, whatever it's called, and the other one, parent to parent. Those are funds. Those are funds that could be used to help these other parents in non-incorporated counties to help them get the resources they need that they don't know about. Who's going to advocate for them once they transition from high school to young adults to make sure they're on the right path? They need to get that QSI to standard. Make sure their needs are met. Make sure they find the right program for them. I'm just trying to reach out in the community and see how I can help out. That's the purpose of my question.
Well, thank you, Vanessa. And you know what? That's a good point. And it's, I talked about that. Look, getting information, empowering families is incredibly important. And so that's why, for me, getting family care councils back up and running where they're effective and it's family to family is important. Better customer service. But here's the deal is, I'm a Republican, right? So shocker that the governor would appoint me and I'm a Republican, right? But government's not the solution, right? We're part of it, but the real solution is people, and it's people like you. So it's community organizations, it's community activists like you helping to educate parents. So here's what I would commit to you, and anyone else. If you have a network of parents who are trying to struggle to get information, let me know. Email me. And either I or my staff, we will come and we will meet with parents. And we will assist family members with information. So I give you an open invitation. If you want to bring that family group together, you get that to me when and where you want to do it. And either I or my staff will come out and will assist you. Because you all get the word out in the community. We have to assist you getting the word out. Yep. There you go. You got it? All right. Say aye, aye. Aye, aye, Sarah. All right, you got one more, right? Is there one more? Are we done? All right. We're going over here, so I'll come talk with you later. All right.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Maushmi Khan. I'm an EFMP Respite Care Coordinator, military family member with a special needs child of 15 years old, and I've been in the Respite Care program for about 13 years. My question to you, sir, you being a veteran, how are you supporting the military families to receive services for APD? Not the ones who are coming in from different states. I know you guys have that rule, but what about our family members here that needs that immediate service?
Well, thank you for that, and thank you for being a military family member. It's tough on spouses. I know, like, when I was deployed, right, when I served in combat in Iraq, right, I didn't know whether it was harder for me or my wife Phyllis, who was back home, because I knew what I was doing every day, and my wife is trying to manage the house and not knowing whether I'm safe or not safe, right? So first I would say thank you for your service. I would tell you this. Thank you. I mean, what we try to do is we try to treat people fairly, and we try to treat people objectively. But I could tell you this, when I see a veteran come my way, I make sure to go out and assist that veteran and military family to the extent we can. I was just talking with the military family who was just here in the row. And so, I would say this is that one is is I think my staff feels the same way, that we support, we extra support people who are in the military, keeping us safe and free. And if it doesn't happen at that level, you send it to my level, and we'll make it happen. So thank you.
The EFMP program has changed starting last year, 2025. They're giving less respite care hours. They've changed the entire rubrics. They're giving level of needs 2, 3, and 4. Only level of needs 3 and 4 is receiving respite care program. What is happening? What can you guys do to help us family members? Can y'all implement something to have these active duty able to get up there on the wait list, just like you guys have for Phelan-McDermott syndrome?
So let's talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
Let's come by and talk about that afterwards, and you can
Thank you.
help educate me a little bit. Okay, well, thank you. Well, I think we're coming to the end of this, so I appreciate everybody spending time. I appreciate you being here, learning, and if you have another question or you have a comment, we'll be here. So thank you.
Let's give it up to our director. Thank you.